With the power of AI, you can make your marketing come alive. Just with a few clicks of a button, you can turn a marketing campaign from good to great. Join us for the revolution. With artificial intelligence, let's make your marketing come to life. CEOKoffe.com.
Welcome to the P. Coffee Brown Show, where we stir up conversations as rich as your morning coffee.
What is going on, good people? Welcome to this week's edition of the P. Coffee Brown Show. I am in the studio with some amazing people. What is popping? What is good? What's crack-a-lacking? What's going on, fam?
Hey,
what's going on?
Guys.
What is good? What is good? Before we get this party started, Vincent had something he had to say, y'all. Y'all need to hear what Vincent had to say, y'all. I need everybody to hear this.
Hey. Okay, well, prior to first off, hi everybody. Prior to our coming on, we have our back behind the stage scenes where we joke, laugh, and maybe one day Koffe record it and it's hilarious. I think they'll like.
Oh my god! We need to do some bloopers for real. That'll be hilarious.
For those who have kids, they have we have these breaks where they out for school or whatever. So I try to do things with my boys, to expose them to different things. So what I took them to is a place called it's a roastery. It's called Golden Roastery. And they have this dessert called Delicious Fruits. So I wanted to expose the boys to it. So I thought it'd be cool for all you people out there, Valentine's is on Saturday or whatever, and you don't have any idea.
Give us the names.
For your let's see, food side pieces, homie lover friends, let's see, what
exercise buddies.
Exercise buddies, spotters, stair-step buddies.
Stair-step buddies.
Those who line you up, however you want to fix it, you should try it.
Tighten me up.
Yeah. No, not tighten. Yeah, tighten you up. Yeah, those people, and your title and what your position is.
Oh my god.
What position is. Try it. It's extremely delicious. The fruits.
Did you say you know what your position is?
Yeah, and if you don't, I'm pretty sure they'll show you.
Oh cannot.
The fruits are delicious.
Wow.
They look so real. I mean, like real. They're called beautiful fruits. They have. It looks like they got banana. They got mango. They got lemon. And when I say they're good, man, you got to try it. And we tried some of the candies, and the candy, it didn't have any processed sugars. This was healthy. It was. I tried one, and it had roasted almonds, cashews, coconut, honey, and they made it into a little square. Man, it was fire. The boys loved it. Now, the price a little steep.
Yeah.
Let's just say when we
I
left
took my
out,
daughter.
I think I spent about $120.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you one of those dates. Yeah, I took my daughter to the beautiful desserts, beautiful pastries for her birthday in October. And it was her and her friends. I took all of them to try it. They pretty good. They're beautiful. They're really nice. They're rich. They're creamy.
But they cost $10,000.
Yeah, it's like $10 for one, or $12 for one. If you get a variety of them, you're gonna be spending some money. I think I paid probably like $60 or $75 because it was my daughter and her friends. So we all tried. They tried one.
Desserts.
3. Yeah.
It was good, man.
Because they're like one, they're fresh. 2, the people in the bakery that's making them, they make them from real fruit, real fruit,
so they're very healthy.
sugar. stuff. Yeah. But I couldn't eat the whole thing. It's so rich. So rich.
No, I got the small. It was a variety cup. I didn't get the one like if it was a mango. I didn't get the mango. And the variety cup had a little bit of all the different fruits, so it was good. It was just the right amount, and they're not overly sweet.
Yeah,
try that out.
The ones we got were not overly sweet. They were actually good.
They have one, Richmond Rosenberg. They have a spot out there.
Interesting. Beautiful desserts, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to check them out and take $10,000 with us when we go.
Yeah.
So we make sure we cover everybody.
Oh, yeah.
We cover everybody while we over there. So they charge $1,000.
But they also have they also have like roasted nuts and almonds and stuff like that too. So it's actually healthy stuff they have in there. They offer too.
That's what's popping. I'm gonna go by there.
Definitely worth it.
But I'm gonna take $10,000 with me for sure. I'm gonna take my 10 bands so I can make sure I cover everybody.
Okay.
And I don't know if we're taking the boos and the bays, but
listen, Boo Bay gonna be taking him wallet.
Yeah.
So, you know.
If it's that type of money, we gotta see.
This is beautiful desserts. I'm gonna be like, babe. I mean, aren't I beautiful?
Absolutely.
That's what you be telling me all the time. You know, since we be working out and everything.
Be spotting you, right?
I couldn't let that one go. I couldn't let that one slide.
You're burning a few calories now. Let's go get this delicious dessert.
Since we done burned all these calories and whatnot working out.
Hey, but you're supposed to have the calories before you burn, not after.
Anyway.
Well,
you know, the glucose levels, it will help to stabilize the glucose levels because, you know, when you exercise, it does impact the glucose level. So it'll help to bring those up.
That's why you got a pre and a post-workout drink.
Oh, Vincent. Oh, my goodness.
I'm gonna stop because
he got to be all extra accurate about it. That's why
he's starting trouble. Vincent's starting trouble.
Well, he got to make up for Jason's absence. So
period. Evidently, so
trust me,
that's what it is.
Period.
He said, "Tag, it's your turn, Vincent."
Tag is my turn.
If your cup runneth over, you have to
Evidently, your cup is all the way over.
Hey, man. Hey, and it's fill it up again.
So what's popping, everybody? You know, we got to have our little banter when we first start the show each and every time. Super excited to come and kick it with y'all. I got a confession to make. This morning when I was trading.
Training?
You were training?
When I was training.
Oh.
Let me tell you this morning when I was trading, I wasn't 100% focused like I was supposed to be. And so what had happened was it showed. And without telling y'all how much money I lost in the market this morning, I will say this. If you're going to trade, don't be distracted by anybody else while you're on the charts. I want you to stay focused while you're on the charts. Don't let anybody distract you. And Vincent, don't say nothing, Vincent. So don't let anybody distract you while you're on the charts. I see Vincent he's thinking about saying something right now. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. That's all I'm saying about that is I was distracted. So if
I'm gonna call you later.
If you are on the charts and you trading, do not, and I repeat, do not get distracted. Okay?
Was it a good distraction?
It had to be, Vincent.
Obviously,
it was very thorough.
Enough to
lose money. It had to be a good distraction.
You know, this is what I'm talking about with the show. This is what I'm talking about with the show.
She's glowing.
I don't have to say anything more than what I said.
She's glowing. Look at that smile. Man,
don't do her. She always glow. Don't do it.
Always. I'm a glowworm. I'm a glowworm.
Nah, this ain't the normal glow. This is something else.
She said it ain't normal. What's normal?
This ain't a man.
This studio lighting, dude.
This is radiant. She's radiating. She's super glowing.
Anyway, let's get into the topic for the night because he started stuff like way started stuff. So Jason Nibs is out and about all in the streets and doing what he does. So we do miss Jason and the show tonight for Shizzo. And we also miss Jason Williams tonight, who is out in the streets too. They out there doing what they do on Thursdays, okay? And we can't tell you what they're doing because we didn't get permission to tell y'all what they're doing. Just saying. So anywho, tonight I have a co-host for tonight's topic that is going to take over the podcast and lead us in our discussion tonight. So without saying, is there a doctor in the house? Shamika, the mic is on you.
Oh my goodness.
What we talking about?
Oh, my favorite thing, one of my favorite subjects, leadership.
Yes.
Leadership. It's one of my favorite topics to discuss. And just reading over the notes today, I'm just like, man, we can take this in so many different areas. So I want to ask y'all a question. As a leader, because hey, y'all all bosses, how do you define leadership? How are you defining it?
Oh, who want to go? Y'all want me to go first? The way I define leadership is the ability to impact someone without. Let me say this. The ability to impact someone that may not necessarily monetize from the impact. That is leadership. That's one aspect of leadership. Another aspect of leadership is basically by the life that you're leading. People are able to benefit from the life that you're leading without you directly being attached or connected. They're literally able to benefit from your life, the experience of your life. That's another aspect of leadership. And the final aspect of leadership is being able to get people to move to action without apprehension. That's another stat of leadership.
That's good. That's good. I see Dupria coming off mic. What you feeling?
Yeah. So I was gonna piggyback a little bit. Just taking it all the way back to when you was a little kid, one of the first things you heard was lead by example. And that's something that stuck with me forever, and my idea of leadership is being able to impact just by me being my authentic self. Mm-hmm. So if the same saying, do unto others as you want done unto you, it's the same thing. If you want to be a leader, you have to show up the way that, one, you want to be treated, but also how you treat people. It says a lot about your character, your integrity, things of that sort. So being able to impact others just by you being your authentic self and being true to yourself, that's great leadership. I also know that along the journey of being a leader, sometimes wearing the hat of a leader, you don't necessarily know that you're being that leader until it's reflected back to you. So it coming from within you, you just naturally have that will to be a leader and to show up in leadership.
That's good. That's good. I know Vincent got something to say. I know he does. I know it.
Okay. Like you said earlier, Miss Dr. I'm sorry, I had to slip it in.
Had to do it.
I could come at this from a lot of different angles, but one of the main leadership components or traits, and this is outside of business, is someone who's quick to listen and slow to react.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be a leader that is emotional and act immediately. You have to be evaluatory, evaluative, or whatever you want to say it. You have to evaluate. You have to be someone who's self-reflective, because a good leader is, they reflect on self and their approaches, and you know your who you're dealing with. You have to know your, if you if it's your mate, you have to know your coworkers, you have to know your staff. Excuse me. You have to know everybody's strength and weakness. So a good leader isn't just focused on one thing. They know how to compartmentalize different tasks and things. So basically, you have to be self-reflective, and you have to be slow to react and quick to listen to certain things. And another one that is very important, and that's when you have to be able to think on your feet.
Yeah.
And that's where the creativity comes in. So good leaders are creative.
Mm-hmm.
They're not linear. They're not stuck in a box.
Yeah.
Because if you want to change, you have to constantly keep growing.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be able to think on your feet and be calm when you're doing this, so you don't make a miscalculated decision.
Very true. Very true. And when I was thinking about leadership, I was thinking about positioning. A lot of times, you know, I'm the oldest child. I'm my mom's oldest kid. So I was born a leader, because now I have siblings that I have to, again, like Dupree, lead by example. So, you know, everybody grown, have their own families, all of that now. But it's like to see my siblings are like, that's my mom. Like, that's my second mom. Because I am just, hey, we need to be authoritative at some point, you know, and great leaders know when and how to move, how to pivot, how to shift. You don't always, you know, take it as I am over you, I'm ruling over you. Sometimes you need to learn that, hey, you can learn from others just as well as you are teaching. And my number one thing with leaders is the ego. This is a power trip. This is an ego. You know, this is about me. Well, I find it to be an insecure leader. I really don't even think that's a leader if you're, you know, on a power trip because you have a certain title or you're in a place of position where you're over others. And that does not necessarily qualify you as a leader because you have a title. So have you ever been in a space where you're having to deal with said leadership and you're having to almost lead them into their roles? Have you ever experienced that in your place of business or in your connections or workplaces?
That's an unfortunate yes, truth be told. And I think a lot of times, you know, I had a candid conversation with a C-suite individual, and I said, you know, the biggest injustice that we do in traditional business is positional leadership, as opposed to them being vetted for character and, you know, endurance, tenacity, their passion, their understanding, wisdom, knowledge, all of the characteristics. Are they welcomed? Are they respected? Do people honor them? Are they, when they're you know, around the actual business or the actual community of, do people gravitate toward them naturally and authentically? If they were to put out an opportunity for the team to do something, would the team collaborate with them organically? Just all those different things to identify, is this person actually a solid leader? Because people get it twisted. Leadership and management are two different things. You manage systems, you lead people. I'll say that again. You manage systems, but you lead people. And a big dilemma is that people think that they're going to manage another humanoid. You can't manage a person. They're not a system or a process or a procedure. They're a person. And that's a big challenge. So with positional leadership, and the individuals haven't been vetted properly, and they don't have the characteristics of an individual that people organically and will just by nature be open to submitting to. It presents all type of pushback and challenges, especially if it's someone that doesn't even understand relationship building, how to get a response from individuals. You don't go in asking for somebody to do something right away. You need to understand their personality type. What is it that will work for them to get them to move to action, to partner with you? What is the hot point for them that you can get them to say, oh yeah, absolutely, I'll do that, yada, yada, yada. And so, just working with those individuals, it can be very, very difficult to have a healthy work environment when you have a lot of positional leaders. And let me just tell you what positional leadership is. Positional leadership is Koffe has a master's degree. That's what we were looking for. She gets the job. She's able to articulate well. She can pass an interview. She got all the references and yada, yada, yada. That is positional leadership. And that is leadership that has not been vetted. You don't know anything about that individual. You don't know how they lead. You don't know if the individuals that you want them to lead, if their personality will be complementing, or if they can be a chameleon and adapt to the people that they have to serve. So that's positional leadership. And so it can be very difficult to actually work with someone who has just been positionally placed there. For one, because there's no other option. For two, because no one takes the initiative to dig deep before they offer people these opportunities. And third, just out of sheer ignorance of understanding the type of personality that is necessary to be a viable leader.
Absolutely. One key word that you brought up, you just mentioned, was serving. If you do not have a servitude attitude, mentality, you are not cut out for leadership. You're not.
Facts.
If you are not, and again, because managing is systems, process, procedures, but you're going to lead people. How are you going to lead people? You want to lead people well. If you take serving off the table, you are not leading people well.
Period.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. First of all, let's give it up to Coach Koffe. She was giving Dr. Koffe, for real. You was giving it to him. You were showing them with that picture. You were showing them why.
That's the cream, black coffee, no sugar and no cream.
Come on. We love it. We love it. I just wanted to add too, this is why in a lot of workspaces, a lot of people don't like their quote unquote manager or supervisor, because that person is in the position, but they don't have the characteristics, nor do they have the spirit of being a leader.
Right.
And they think they can just bark at these people and tell them this and tell them that. And the ego starts to show, and it's like,
absolutely.
You're not really where you're supposed to be. You may have the knowledge of it, but you don't have that spirit. You don't have that serving energy. You don't have that welcoming energy. And when I noticed that I was naturally a leader, I started to see why in certain environments I would be called to certain things, and it just worked for me because I naturally have that energy, that spirit, that the characteristics of it. And you notice real leaders, they are leading in every aspect of their life. Yes, they can have people that are, also leading them, but we're natural leaders. We could be at home and we're leading. We could be at work, and even though we may not be in the position, we're still leading. People will listen to us and gravitate towards us before they would gravitate towards the person that's in the position. They'll listen to you before they'll listen to the person that's in the position. So having that discernment with the two is so important. Knowing how to identify with what you're experiencing helps you navigate that so much better.
You know what?
And natural leaders are healthy followers.
Absolutely.
That's another aspect I was looking at too. And a lot of people use titles and credentials to justify that they're a more capable leader. And actually, honestly, this is just my opinion. 70% of a lot of these leaders in these positions you may look good on paper, but it's a difference between theory and application. Just because you have this title and the credentials does not make you the most viable leader. Because one thing is for sure and two for certain, if you can lead, and lead don't mean dictate or micromanage. Is when somebody can do it, that's your charge to do it yourself. You said something just now. You're leading at home. Guess what? If you don't have a significant other and it's just you, who has to do it? You. You can't dictate it to someone else. So guess what? If I'm willing to lead, I'm also willing to get my hands dirty and do it with you. That comes with the that's an unspoken criteria, so to speak.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to jump out of leader mode and go into worker mode.
Yeah. Most leaders, they put the work in to be who they are. You develop all of these characteristics. It's not something you wake up and one day you're a great leader. No, you have to have practice. You have to have done the work to know what a good quality leader is. You can recognize the difference in a leader and somebody that's just in position when you are a leader.
And people don't want to be manipulated. That's the word I'm looking for. There's a lot of manipulation in so-called leadership because perfect example, we had a scenario where the individual came and said, asked a question, would you mind doing this? And then come back when the response is, like, yeah, I do mind. Well, I need you to do this by tomorrow. It has to be done by tomorrow. What was the purpose of you asking the
Why
question?
did you ask?
They wanted to make
you already knew.
Why did you ask?
The result was going to be the result. Tomorrow, that's stupid. So that's manipulate. You're being manipulative. That's that passive aggressive manipulating behavior. You play passive to ask a question to get an engagement, but in fact, you should have made a statement stating that, hey, while I know this is the deadline, we need this done by tomorrow. Can you add this to your schedule?
That's that approach, Koffe, with a lot of leaders.
Absolutely.
I was just about to say it.
Man,
absolutely, yeah.
That's master manipulation. What's the purpose of asking a question knowing good and well it doesn't matter what the response is?
Don't forget them. I love this one. The follow-up email.
Oh yeah.
But see, exactly what Koffe just said. Those three things. Someone with ego, someone who is manipulative, or I can't remember what the other one was, but those things right there, poor leadership. Absolutely. Poor leadership. And you think you're a great leader because you're a master manipulator, or you have inflated ego because of your position, or micromanagement said, no, that don't make you a good leader, because a leader is going to let you know or state what the expectation is and allow you to exceed or meet the expectation. And we're going to evaluate.
Really strong leaders develop their subordinates to supersede.
They absolutely do.
They literally
They absolutely do.
That they surpass them.
Yeah,
that is the definition of a phenomenal leader. If you have the ability to say, you know what, I am going to mentor and coach these individuals so that you talk about making somebody look good, you're going to look epic if you're able to say, I have made certain that these individuals that I serve surpass me. I'm not going to hold nothing back and make sure that I am really coaching them, leading them, cultivating this environment so that they can grow and thrive. I'm here. That's what I'm here for, to make certain that these individuals surpass me and that I have the highest quality individuals that actually have to answer to me. I want to make sure that they understand that they're valued. I want to see them win. I want them to be successful. I want to make sure that their journey aligns with where they want to go, not where I want them to go, and make sure that I position them to become those things and to do those things.
Well, a lot of times they don't want them to go anywhere. They don't want them to go anywhere. They don't want them to surpass them. They don't want them to, look better than they, look. And a lot of times when we have these micromanagers, when we have these leaders, and I'm just loosely use that term with some of these people because you're not a leader. But when you have these people in points of leadership in these roles and they want to micromanage, they want to do, these follow-up emails, really, there's no control in any other area of their life, so they bring it to the workplace. They can't control anything else.
Really, they ain't got no choice.
Yeah.
It's just document. That's really what that is.
Because people outside of work, they know they can see that there's not a real leader. You can recognize it. So why would I listen or follow you outside of work?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's so crazy because the bigger picture is who's my, I think about this from a C-suite's executive thought level. Leaders even show up in their attire differently. They don't show up just looking like they rolled out of the bed. A real leader never ever shows up with their hair disheveled and their attire. I mean, and listen, super solid leaders, they understand if they have different art on their body, how that it can impact the individuals that they serve. They will literally cover up their art to reflect that, hey, I want to make certain that what I present to you says that I earned the right to be respected. And I've earned the right for you to be able to submit to me in a healthy manner without conflict. I've earned that right. Look at how I look. When I walk in the room, you like, oh, I know who the boss is just based on attire. If you ever walk into a room in any kind of traditional business environment or non-traditional, from that fact, a lot of times you know who the boss is just by what they got on. Literally. You know who's in charge.
It's the energy that they bring, that aura.
Absolutely.
When they step.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When they step in the room, you like, okay, I literally know who's in charge here. And they don't have to say anything, not one word. It's just a command of presence when they enter, when they open their mouth to speak, when somebody gives them the microphone, you know exactly who you're dealing with, regardless of if they've been deemed, by a title, more so than who they actually are. And, the one thing, and I know we got to get us back to Shamika, the one thing that used to happen that no longer happens is the development of leaders. We see that very rarely, where there's a strong development of leaders, where their actual personalities are being cultivated for them to be able to be the individuals that everyone will have to at some point follow. And it's imperative. Dupria mentioned something earlier about the leadership from the cradle, from the house. It is so important that we position our children properly in the rearing of them, so that they're able to be those individuals that people can look at and say, hey, listen, I have no issue with submitting to little Mr. Harris or little Miss Williams or little Mr. Melvin or little Mr. Brown or little Miss Brown. I really I have a high regard and a high respect for them. Lastly, leaders get in the trenches with their subordinates. They don't always come asking for you to do anything. They'll say, hey, I know you got a lot on your plate, so in order to make sure that I'm adding value, I went ahead and did this on your behalf because it needed to be done, and I definitely didn't want to ask you to do one more thing. Those are the kind of leaders that you can say, wow, thank you for just seeing that I have a lot on my plate and literally taking the initiative to say, let me get my hands dirty and add value.
And that means as a leader that you find value in the people.
Absolutely.
If you're not just wanting to add other things to their plate, you get in there and you know, go in the trenches. You're down there with them. I'll complete this task so that you're able to do other things. You're showing that person that you value them.
Absolutely.
You're not wanting to overly stress them. You're not wanting to bog them down with things that you know, hey, you can absolutely do and step in and not make it a dig either to that person. Is hey, we all are in this together. We're going to work this out so that we can move on to the next project or whatever we need to do.
You know what that does? The more that you are that type of leader, it helps people know, like, and trust you, and they will follow you forever. You could have been in a position where you were a leader to somebody years, decades ago, and they will still follow you to this day because of your leadership. So that's, again, go back to great leadership.
Facts.
I was thinking something that we were just talking about, and it's what I've always admired and always thought this really makes good leaders. A good leader is smart enough to know they are not the master of everything. So you have to trust your subordinates who you place in positions to do their job. Also, you have to develop them. So guess what? It's a well-oiled machine. You're the leader, you're the head or the spokesperson, but you should allow these people to develop under you. What if something happens to you? It has to keep going. That's the same thing in a household. Just because you, quote unquote, the head of household does not mean your spouse should not have the same equal power as you. Because if something happened to you, they need to know what to do. Which goes back to what Dupree was talking about earlier. Leadership it's not just the job, it's at the house. It's wherever you walk. Your presence says who you're a leader.
Yeah.
You know, leaders are, a lot of people say leaders are not made or born or made. Leaders, honestly, it has to already be in you anyway. And most leaders don't want to lead anyway. That's the best kind because they're doing it with no kind of ego. It's at its purest form. They're doing it because of the love of whoever or whatever they're doing it for, whether it's their household or whether it's a Fortune 500 company. You want to do what's best for everybody. That's why that servant leadership is important, because if you're not a good leader and you're not doing it to help the people, then guess what? You are not a leader. I don't care how many titles you got. You can have 5 or 10 doctorates. It does not matter.
Nope.
All you have is a lot of information, but guess what? You know, can you apply it? And then are they going to respect you?
Right.
You got to give respect to get it.
Absolutely. And you know, this is why, again, these titles and, you know, positions, like, they absolutely mean nothing. Like, they just don't. You have gained a little bit more knowledge, but who are you at your core? Who are you as a person? Because you have this degree, because you've been summa cum laude, because they love to put, hey, because I'm part of a fraternity or a sorority, I'm, you know, spirit. Like, who told you that?
Oh, don't forget this one, Shamika. Oh, I went to this university.
Yes.
I went to this Ivy League. I went to this PWI.
Yes.
No.
And the sad part about it is, you know, I'm sitting here thinking in my head, like, you know, if somebody's being manipulative, it's sad you can't go to them and say, you know, when this happens, it makes me feel as though you're being disingenuous and there's no authenticity in it. If you require me to do something, just say that. Don't ask me and then turn around and make a demand for me to do it, because if you're asking me, it gives the impression that I have an option, when in fact there is no option. So that's manipulation at its finest. Yeah, so why manipulate me and then turn around and tell me I got to do it anyway? That's a you know, and it's sad because you can't have a candid conversation where you can say, and but let's call a spade a spade. Let's be real here. Don't do that. If there's something that you're requiring me to do, just go ahead and let me know that this is a requirement. Please don't ask me to do it and then take away my right to say no.
Yeah.
You know what, Koffe? I found something, and it just dawned on me at this particular time. And tell me if y'all have seen this. You know, a lot of these leaders pattern their approaches based off social media and movies.
Yeah.
That is not real. That is not real.
When Koffe said nowadays there is no leadership development, it's because of social media. Everyone have access to build a platform, and people are following these people because of personality. Outside of personality, what do you have? Like, that don't make you a great leader. And that's why when a lot of these people try to do other things to earn income or monetize off of their personality, it don't really go that far, because your leadership, you lack leadership skills. You're not a leader, you're just a personality.
You lack character, you lack depth.
There it is. Character. Character.
This
there you go. That's the key word right there. You lack character and integrity. And the thing about it is too, a lot of individuals that are able to build these platforms, when you meet them in real life, it's all an act. They are phenomenal actors. In real life, they do not exude any of the energy that they put into these platforms to make them appear to be something that they are completely not in real life. Not that person at all.
I have a question, Koffe, and this actually kind of works with us. As a leader, you have to have some type of relationship with who you are working for as a leader or who you support. That's why I was telling when we first came on, our viewers have no idea how our stage stuff goes on prior to us coming on. You know, and a lot of them think this is rehearsal reacting. No, it's not. It's very genuine. It's very transparent. But that helps when we get on the podcast for the viewers.
Yeah.
Because we have those moments outside of the stage where the cameras on and where we can be your authentic self. You know, some things you have to monetize because we on social media. But for the most part, viewers, y'all get at least 90% of who we are without
That's what I said last week.
Yeah.
Last week, our community of people, very authentic. They know that they are not afraid to be themselves in any environment, and that's one thing that I love about the community have created, cultivated.
And a big part of that is because I respect you, you respect me. Right. I'm allowed to be exactly who I am without being concerned or worried about, hey, am I going to lose the respect of this person because I am authentically Shamika? That is why that DR, that means I just went to school, but I'm Shamika. And y'all respect it. Just
we're
like
not allowed.
We're Doctor. Don't disrespect Doctor.
We've been having a whole fight about this.
Not one doctor, two doctors. Not one, two.
Let me tell you something, Shamika. She tell us off camera all the time, it's not doctor. It's not doctor. We still Dr. Shamika. Dr. Shamika. Yes, ma'am. Yes, you went to school. It's
right in front of her name. She didn't take it off.
You see it right there. The viewers see it.
What was supposed to do?
She needs to put another doctor.
We have discussed this already. We've had these discussions.
Okay, well, I guess we have to use it the same way we don't call me P Koffe. It's okay. All right.
Yeah.
But there is a level of, respect for those that we all are bosses. We all are leaders. We all are, have our own platforms, but we all respect one another. And that's a part of a great leader, is being able to, hey, I don't need to just always depend on somebody else to do something. I'm able to do it myself. And I don't find it a problem to do it myself, and that's one thing we need to learn also. But then I'm sitting here thinking, and I'm like, in these positions, how clear are you? How clear are you as a person in who you are every day when you wake up? Are you certain about your own self? How clear are you? Because if you're not certain about who you are, if you don't have clarity in what you're doing and where you're going, how are you going to lead somebody else?
The uncertainty comes out in communication quite heavily.
Yeah.
Very, very heavily.
Yeah.
To when it comes to leadership, there's certain points in every leader's journey where you're not going to be able to be docile in any way, shape, or form. You're going to have to be very straightforward and be able to literally say what needs to be said, apply said pressure with an expectation of having said results. Yet, if you don't show up in that authentic behavior on a consistent basis, not that same manner, just in that same level of authenticity, that same energy to where somebody can accept when you have to take on the stance to say, this is what we're doing. This is how it has to be done. And that's just the end of it. There's not a negotiation. It's not a conversation. This is what has to happen, and it has to happen today. There's going to be no backlash, and there's going to be no retaliation. Nobody's going to get in their feelings because they have seen the posture that you exude on a regular basis. You could be very docile, very laid back, but they know when you bring the hammer down that it is imperative that this gets done. Why? Because of your demeanor, even in your jovialness and your conservative aspects. When you have to be stern, it's received because they like, even when they lay back, we know that they still have an expectation of things to be done. And they literally come back to make certain without micromanaging. So whenever you see that happen and that leader shows up in that type of level of authority, you can say, oh, they're very sure and confident in themselves. They're not arrogant. They have that authority, that posture, and that confidence is exuding all over the place. When you see them coming, you go, you can tell by they walk. Their physical walk says a lot about who they are when they physically walking. If you ever see somebody and they're a leader and they're always with their head down, they don't have the confidence. They don't have confidence.
They're not clear.
Or whenever they have a communication with you, they're not looking you in your eye. They're not able to shake your hand firmly. That is a clear indication that the confidence is literally not there. So whenever you find somebody like that, even though you may have to submit to that leadership because you're forced to submit to it, in the end of the day, you don't have respect for that individual because they have not done the work internally to build themselves up to the person that they need to be in order to get the results that they really want from the subordinates without all the extras. Yeah, I may not like Ms. Brown. I don't like her a lot. But at the end of the day, when she asks me to do something, I'm going to get it done because I just know she mean business. But I don't really like Coach Koffe. I don't like her. I don't like her at all. But that heifer going to get this. She going to get what she after. You know it. And there's no question about it. She's going at the end of the day, she's going to get what she after. I'm going to respect her, but I don't like her.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all.
Period.
They'll be okay. They will be
you have to be able to have that type of posture. If you're going to, if somebody was saying recently that if you ever have the intention of running some type of major multi-million dollar organization, you need to get your posture right while you have two people that answer to you.
Yeah.
Because you ain't gonna be able to get it right when you get to that's not gonna work. You got to have that posture right. You got to have everything that you need in place before that time comes. You can't have it. It's not gonna happen later.
No.
You have to take care of that now while you're someone that nobody recognizes you. It's fine. But at the end of the day, if you have an anticipation that somebody will recognize you when you walk up in the room, how are you dealing with your posture right now? That's that mirror work that has to be done.
Koffe, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, look at what Jason Williams put in the comments.
I don't like her either, Jason.
I don't like her either. I'm gonna tell you somebody, man, I remember the first time this guy's present, and just his approach and how firm he presented himself. Man, I love President Obama.
Yeah.
Man, his walk, his demeanor, you knew he was upset when how he delivered his speech, and he started articulating very well, almost like he was cold with his words, his approach, his delivery. That's how you knew he was really upset. He never raised his voice, walked in smooth, straight to the point, and just he said he meant what he said. So I mean, you got. I think as a leader, you have to have a mentor. You have to have somebody that you, I wouldn't say copy, but you try to take on some of their presence of who they are. And I think that's very important. Not just with your stature, but just thought processes, things that you put into place, just everything. That's why it's important. You need to have a mentor. Leadership development is important. And if you don't have somebody to take you under their wing, it's you going by the seat of your pants. You're figuring it out.
Yeah. And I like how and this is just pivoting a little bit because we've talked a lot heavily on, business and leadership. But what about family? Like that's a big point of leadership that people don't really take as serious as they should. Like as a parent, as a, aunt, a cousin, whatever it is in the family lineage, how important is leadership in your family? Like that's the first opportunity that you get at leadership. How are you stewarding that relationship or those relationships in your family as a leader?
I think that affects everything.
Yeah.
Very important.
But it's for all of us here because all of us here have played a huge role in leadership with our family. Every person on this call right now, we all have been the one that everybody called for this or that or needed to make a decision. You the one that's making the decision. But what about the people that, they usually call their big sister or, their brother or whatever? We gotta speak to them. Because we know our role and how we had to do it.
Well, one thing about the family dynamic that I think a lot of us have not actually been exposed to is understanding the CEO seat of the family, right? So there's a CEO seat in every family. There's a seat that somebody's gonna have to sit in every single generation. The challenge is when the person is in that seat, how are they leading themselves? Forget about everybody else. Yeah. How are they leading themselves? How are they governing their lives? Are they the type of individual to where somebody has to nudge them and push them and tell them to do this and yada, 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 whatever? Or are they the type of individual, if it's time to step up, they step up without somebody having to tell them to go and step up? Are they accountable for the life that they're leading? When they make gross calculated errors, do they try to come up with an excuse as opposed to taking full ownership and responsibility for whatever it is that they've done? So that person that sits in that CEO seat, I was sharing with somebody a couple of days ago that their dad passed. He was like 92 years old. He was talking about how he said, man, he was talking about the CEO seat that his dad sat in. He said something very serious. He said, I do not want my children cleaning up after me when I die. I'm getting ready to purge now, and I'm going to live a life that is purged. I have no intentions of having my children clean up after me after I pass. So when he said that, I said, yeah, because here's the dilemma. There's some families where when somebody goes to clean up, they find out the truth about who was really sitting in that CEO seat. They find out about the invoices instead of the inheritance that they were supposed to receive. So when it comes to that type of mentality, you have to say to yourself, you know what, if I'm sitting in the CEO seat and I have to pass the torch to somebody, can I pass the torch without leaving them invoices, but an inheritance? Well, when I close my eyes for the last time and they have to find out who I really was, because there's some things that you're not going to find out until that CEO fall off.
Absolutely.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
When they find out who I really was, will it match the individual that they actually had an experience with? Because nobody wants to get invoices when that person passes. I need you to have my inheritance. I don't need the invoices. Handle your affairs.
Handle the business. Okay.
Clean up your own mess. You know, when he said that, you know, when my client said that, he was distraught because he was like, it's been his literal. He was even saying how I could look at him. I said, you are exhausted. You need to rest. He said, I haven't been able to rest because I got to clean up this mess. And it was not negative what he was saying. Hear me what I'm saying. He wasn't saying it in a negative stance. He was saying it from a perspective of understanding when the CEO leaves, everything that was tied to that CEO should already be addressed. I shouldn't have to come into the CEO's office and write something.
Yeah.
That should not be my job.
Yeah.
My job is to literally take the position and be able to run with it going up instead of trying to level out something and fix all this and then have to level up. That's too much for the incoming boss.
But you know what, Koffe, what you were saying, and it goes back to what we said earlier, it's development. If you know that you have to have somebody moving to this seat, they have to be groomed already. And parents do this good parenting. You know your kids. You know who has the potential to take this CEO position. So you already groom them from knee high to a pup because you see it early.
Yeah.
You know your kids. People act like they don't know that a person.
Of course.
You know when they were a kid. You seen the signs of it.
Absolutely.
And you knew who was going to be the strong one. I can speak for myself. My dad was a principal and a coach and a biology teacher. That's like living with a
man, that's a sniper. You lived in the house with a sniper.
Like literally, it was constant training.
Jeez.
Growing up
at all times.
I have an older sister.
My nerves bad just listening to that.
And
what?
She used to get mad because they treated me like I was the older and I was the elder. Even now, literally, like when my mom passed, my sister was so distraught and broken up. I literally had to push her to get back together so we can do this stuff to get, from our mom's, arrangements and everything, because she was not there mentally. But that comes from that training that I was raised and taught to function as if my parents were not even here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I literally, and I'm sharing that and I'm being very transparent. That's how I was conditioned. So when they were no longer here, I was already, I was groomed for this.
Yeah.
And
that's my mind and my kids all the time.
I'm not going to always be.
Yeah.
I remember.
There's nothing wrong with that, to be honest with you.
No.
My dad told me this, man. I was mad at him for a long time. I'm like, man, I don't want to hear this. He say, I ain't gonna always be here.
Absolutely.
That's a good punch to anybody. You already know where this is going. I need you to be able to function.
Period.
And from that conversation, that's when the heat got turned all the way up, man. And I'm giving my dad his flowers publicly, via our viewers, whatever. I'm thankful that he did that.
Yeah.
Amen.
Because I wouldn't be who I am. It wouldn't have shaped to the Vincent that everybody is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very important that we do that with our kids. And you have to prepare, because you don't know what tomorrow brings with anything.
Period.
So, I want to touch on what Jason said in the comments, because I think that especially in a big family.
Look, he's supposed to be on the show.
He need to put a paragraph in the comments.
Yeah, put a whole paragraph in there.
He wrote a paragraph.
Who wants it in the COC 10 times later and all that stuff.
Yeah, I like that because most times when we grow up in a big family where we have a lot of siblings and everybody want to be in charge, what Jason just put in the comments, that could help so many people navigate their family dynamics so much better. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it. That's all.
He's gonna be on the show. Don't tell him that.
I know, right?
Next week,
I'm seeing you. Why are you
Jason.
in the comments?
All of the
Next week,
comments.
Jason, what's up? Where you at?
Yeah, he's right. It is
Yeah.
levels of leadership. It's levels to this. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
I
is.
agree 100%.
It is, but we ain't paying him no mind right now.
Yeah, we're not paying him no mind.
Because he don't like me anyway.
Yeah. He don't like you for one. He ain't on the show with T for real.
Period.
Ooh,
But let's give Dr. Shamika, aka Shamika, some snap claps, baby, because she did her thing tonight. She did her thing tonight, co-hosting. Snap claps in the building. I don't forgive you, Jason. You got to make it up.
Hey man,
listen, what they
we would rather see you.
We would
rather see you in the building.
CEO
Hey,
Jason,
next time, man. Hey, I tried to hold it down for us, man.
And you did, Vincent. You held it
But
down.
you know what?
Let's give some love for Vincent. The man, honey, he held that thing down. Facts.
Hey, it's fine. I don't mind. I don't mind being on a show with a whole bunch of
we preach.
I'm good. Hey, love it.
Listen, well, thank you guys so much for tuning in and tapping into this week's edition of the P Coffee Brown Show. We had a fantastic segment. Listen, if you missed the show and you want to catch it, it's not going to be on social media. You're going to have to go to Roku Television, the Gift Network. We are on TV. So you're going to have to go to Roku Television on the Gift Network to be able to catch the replays and find out more about this particular session. I love you too, Jason Williams. All right, guys, until next time, grace and peace. And we'll see you guys on another edition of the P Coffee Brown Show. Peace.